Leonardo DiCaprio's One Battle After Another was supposed to be Hollywood's grand, triumphant own of the right, a finger in the eye of the Orange Man and all his repugnant followers. But the market has spoken, and it turns out Americans aren't interested in what Hollywood has to say. Today, we'll show you how hard consumers are rejecting Tinseltown's attempts to persuade you with ideological movies. It turns out people are refusing to see. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that continues to change hearts and minds simply by telling the truth with a capital T. Coming to you from somewhere in sunny USA. Folks, we are happy today to get to bring you the news you need to know. Click the like button, and here we go. Out of the numbers, we've got One Battle After Another. Now, if you don't know what this movie is, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, it's Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and a bunch of other people. And it was a pro-anti-FA. See, we know how to play the game here, right? It's a pro-anti-FA movie. It celebrates them, and it's all about, doing what the left would like to do sometimes to the right. Take a look at this, though, folks. The box office has spoken loudly, clearly, and the repudiation could not be more stark. $138 million is what this movie has made, and it is petering out. It is just about done. Only $54 million, by the way, of that coming domestically. It turns out, if you want to hate on the Orange Man and his followers, the international box office is where you need to go. Maybe this is a big movie in some of those deplorable places out there. I don't know. But take a look at the weekend box office. Made $22 million at first and $11 million. Only $6.6 million in this third weekend. And why that matters is, if we go to the, where's this at? Let's go to summary. This is what we need. If we go to the summary, the production budget for this is $140 million. Now you add on that advertising, which is sometimes called prints and ads and that kind of thing. 140 is going to turn into about 250, because 100 million is about as cheap as you can go on advertising. So it's probably about 250. Now at $250 million, production plus prints and ads, you're going to come out with a need to make $500 million to break even. Why? Well, because theaters only send back about half the money that the movie makes to the studios, right, to the distributor. So at $138 million, folks, I'd say this is a little bit shy of the $500 million mark. And can you believe that they would have ever greenlit something like this, understanding it needs to make $250 million? It shows you just how skewed Hollywood is. But there was more to this. Zach Sharf has this by Variety. One Battle After Another is a hit with critics because it aligns with leftist sensibility, says Bret Easton Ellis. There's a liberal mustiness to this movie. You see, it was never intended necessarily to make money. It was always intended to be an awards winner. But the problem is it's flopping so hard. Like, it can lose money, but it can't flop this hard. It's flopping so hard, it's making it detestable for award season. Oh, they hate this. American Psycho author Bret Easton Ellis is calling out the acclaimed critical response to Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, which is the highest rated film of 2025. Let me say it again, everybody. Some of you out there don't even know what this movie is, right? And it's a pro-anti-FA movie. Fa la 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 la. You get it? Pro-anti-FA, right? It's the highest rated movie by critics of the year. It's got a 95 on Metacritic. Oh, how they wanted this to be a success. Oh, how they wanted to get the little trophies. Please give them trophies. While Ellis is a big fan of Anderson, he said There Will Be Blood is maybe the best film of the century. The author claimed critics have heaped praise on One Battle After Another because the film's politics align with the left. Yeah, you think? Quote, it's kind of shocking to see these kinds of accolades go for, I'm sorry, it's not a very good movie because of its political ideology, and it's so obvious that's what they're responding to. Why it's considered a masterpiece, the greatest film of the decade, the greatest film ever made, is because it really aligns with this kind of leftist sensibility. That's the story, folks. That's the story. And they're putting this in Variety. Do you know what Variety is? Variety is one of the Hollywood trades. Now, why would they put this out there if it's a Hollywood trade? Well, because the Hollywood trades tend to put out what is the approved narrative. So what is Hollywood trying to say right now? It's trying to warn the members of the Hollywood elite, the intelligentsia, hey, this thing is such a stinker, we got to get away from it. Now, if we go to Politico, I want to go back to 2024 for a minute. I want to show you just how badly Hollywood is performing with these kinds of movies, because it would be very easy, folks, for us to come out here and talk about how bad Tron is flopping and then talk about this movie. That's a cookie cutter video, and I can make those. I can pump those out. I don't want to. I want you to come here and get a PhD level of understanding of what's happening. I want you to understand the market. I want you to go and tell your friends, by golly, I watched that Pro Channel, and because of it, I know this. So if we go back to 2024, this year's best political movies, get ready. I've got big news for you. We're going to go down here to some of the ones that were named. The Brutalist, for example, says the 3.5-hour runtime intermission in Vista Vision format make this film sound like catnip for film nerds, but its ideas and skill place it much more naturally within the canon of popular American epics like There Will Be Blood or The Godfather Part 2. Okay, so The Brutalist. Now, The Brutalist is one of the ones that they're praising. Now, what is The Brutalist? You may not have heard of it. And if you didn't, I wouldn't blame you, because it only made $50 million. And if you only make $50 million, I don't care what you are. I don't care who you are. If it went out to theaters and it made $50 million, it's a flop. It's a flop. The Brutalist is a movie about a guy who, after World War II, comes to the United States. He's Jewish, and he is deeply mistreated by Protestants. Christians, right? Protestant Christians in Pennsylvania. That's what the movie's about. Now, you think about that in Hollywood, and you just, it's a little bit of a stretch, right? In fact, you can take a look at this out of the BBC. How true is The Brutalist? The real-life history of Jewish immigrants in post-World War II America goes on. Even the BBC basically has to say, come on. Like, come on. But it was a dream of the left. It's a dream of the left. It's a historical hallucination of a Jewish guy coming and being brutalized by American Protestants. There you go. $50 million. It was a flop. Well, what about The Conclave 2024? $103 million the Conclave made. Folks, The Conclave had marketing behind it like crazy. That probably didn't cover even the marketing, because $50 million is what it brought back to the studio that made it. $50 million. What was this movie all about? The Conclave was all about choosing a new pope, and it was all about disparaging Catholics. Now, I'm not here to, this is not just going to be about Protestants and Catholics, and maybe, who knows, maybe there's a movie next about Orthodox Christians, right? No, that's not what I'm going to do. Just showing you that Hollywood decided they were going to get very political, even religious, sacrilegious, some would say, and they lost. They lost badly. But folks, there's no greater example of this than The Apprentice, 2024, in the height of the political season, when the lefties should have been going crazy for this kind of thing, lapping it up like cats that found cream, orange colored cream, creamsicles, but cream nonetheless. But folks, Sebastian Stan, right? Bucky himself got bucked hard. Americans rejected this in a way that you just don't see. 9 million is the total worldwide box office. Only 4 million of that came from the domestic box office. And no, it doesn't get any excuses. If we go to the box office here, it opened in 1,700 theaters. Don't let them tell you. Basically, 1 year ago today, it opened in 1,700 theaters. Don't let them tell you that it had some sort of limited release. You know why it was limited? Because after 2 weeks, theaters said, good Lord, it made less than $1 million its second weekend. Get it out of here. It crashed from 1,700 theaters to less than 300 in 3 weeks. In the middle of the presidential campaign, in October of 2024, The Apprentice crashed like that. How did that happen, folks? Because Americans are rejecting propaganda films from Hollywood. They despise them. There is no market for this. There's none. On the other side, here's what you got to think about. This is why the Hollywood elites really are unhappy today. Question: how did Sound of Freedom do? Ponder that. How did Sound of Freedom do? How did What Is a Woman do? How did those movies do? They did pretty darn well compared to their budgets, eh? Yeah, they did. They did do well. But Hollywood wants in on that from a very unhinged other side. And folks, guess what? Try and try again. They're failing again and again. So yes, I could come out today and we did the Tron movie or the Tron video yesterday. I'll keep talking about Tron. I can go on and on about it. But there's something that is being missed. And I would be remiss not to put a spotlight on it. And that is that the market has spoken absolutely as clearly as can be. Americans and even the world reject the values and the worldview of Tinseltown. Celebrities, you're out of touch. Not just with average people, but with everybody. You're in a bubble. You're in a very small and shrinking bubble. And Hollywood would do well to go back to what did so well in the past. Stories of a traditional nature, covering tales that are universally appreciated, that talk to the human condition, and don't try to reinvent not only the wheel, but how people feel. That is what celebrities and Hollywood and directors and the union should do. Folks, we'll keep doing what we do. And that's exposing the truth, putting it up on the screen for you, a PhD level of understanding of what's been going on in these hyper-political movies and, downright hateful ideological films. We'll just call it that. All right, folks, it's your turn. Don't be hateful. Don't be spiteful. Click the like button and drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Click that notification bell. We appreciate it. And until the next time we get to spend time with you, folks, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, truly. You make our dreams come true when you click on these videos because we get to do what we do, and that is spend time with you. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Now this is wonderful. No interruptions, just relax radio on Prelude Pro Radio. I'm so happy WDW Pro and his pals are making this kind of stuff on YouTube. Now I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Mr. Floral? Mr. Floral, sir?
Yeah, Coco?
Well, I just noticed that you're doing a WDW Pro bumper ad on the end of the video.
Yeah, I'm just listening to Relax Radio, the new YouTube live stream for all the best instrumentals to study, relax, or even go to sleep to.
But don't you think you're missing something?
No.
Aren't you,
I don't know what.
Aren't these ads usually featuring Wilton?
Nope, not this one, Coco. Relax Radio is all about taking it easy. Wilton is just the opposite. With Relax Radio, everything's about calm and relaxing. You just click on the live stream over at Prelude Pro Radio and let your cares melt away.
Okay, so then I shouldn't tell you that Wilton is currently stuffing aluminum foil in the one kitchen appliance you really should never do that with.
Wow. I gotta say, cooking these days is far more exciting than I remember. That goldfish, though, never want to see that again. Woof. Well,